Howdy, howdy. So Vynnset's got new cards, so I am back to reviewing some gameplay to kind of get a leg up, make sure we're getting the right play lines, knowing our matchups, so we can be the best deck we can be. So today I'm playing against Dash IO, who I have historically had an issue with. She's just a tough matchup. She goes very fast, she does a lot of things, she does a lot of damage. I think we're able to keep up better now, but with the new Dash IO Armory deck coming out, she could get some pretty strong tools to, Cerebellum is a hell of a card, drawing cards is good. So my opponent today is just a local buddy, and he does not have the new cards in his deck yet. He's just playing with what he's playing with in person, which I'm totally fine with. I need the matchup experience anyways, so let's get into it. So he is going first. We did not win the die roll. We're running our regular weapons. Face Purgatory in this matchup I think just does more than Crown. We're running Dyadic this time around instead of Tunic. And instead of Husk, I think that is the right choice for, defense. Husk can really bite on the back end, especially if you're trying to potentially fatigue them at the end of a game. I've found Dyadic to be good. And then I'm also running 3 Smashing Good Time in this game. I'm just trying it in the sideboard. I thought my opponent was going to be playing the new Cerebellum processor, but even so, I hate this matchup and it might become a problem, so I'm trying to try out Smashing Good Time. It's just in the place of Chains right now. Have no idea what the meta is going to look like in a month or so I'm just trying things out. So we're bringing in those Smashings, of course. We're bringing in Succumb, and we're bringing in Malefic Incantation. All good cards. This is going to be a faster matchup, so we don't really need Oblivion and Read the Runes. We don't have Tunic. And Sink Below would probably be in if I weren't on Smashing Good Time. But we're trying Smashing, so we're leaving Sink out. So our opponent starts out, just comes at us with a red Outpace. We probably want to cover up damage. This matchup can kind of go, to the very last hit point. We want to conserve as much as we can. So I think we're trying to block 6 here. Also, we don't want to get Surprise Boom Grenaded. This hand isn't, amazing. We definitely have 2 cards we can block with. Machinations is good, and one of these Rune Gates is good, but we don't need 3 of them. Opponent boosting a High Octane, which is great for us. We love that for him. And then Throttle boosting a second High Octane. That is crazy. I remembered we get 2 of them banished early, but I didn't remember they're back-to-back turn 1. That is unfortunate. I think I would have just Arsenal passed if I were my opponent. So we're also just blocking 6 again, and opponent throwing down an Overload script. Yeah, I think I would have just I would think I would have just passed turn. And what a great hand. We draw into 4 Rune Gates. I think the only play here is either we can keep a Bounding Demigod in Arsenal or send a Bounding Demigod and keep a 2-gate in Arsenal. The only real play here is to banish a 2-gate and send a 2-gate. We could banish Bounding, but I've been having no problem having Rune Chance lately, so I would like more damage, please. So, Widespread Ruin and Banish, or Deathly Delight and Banish. I'm sending the Widespread Ruin just raw because it's 6 damage instead of just 5. We probably would have gotten 6 value off of the Delight anyways, and I would have liked to have a potential extra banish off of Ruin, so I think that's actually just a misplay. I always look at Deathly Delight as only 5 damage because I can't guarantee it's 7, or it's only 5 value because I can't guarantee it's 7, but it's also probably going to be 6. Yeah, should have probably just banished the Ruin. Would have been better. Like the deck giveth and taketh away, we draw a hand of full attacks and we draw a hand of full non-attacks. So this is unfortunate. 0 to 60 gets a block from Revelin Runeblood, and that's just because I would rather put Smashing Good Time in Arsenal. Another Outpace. Opponent pitching a Teklo Core. And I know my opponent loves to play Teklo Cores, so I think I could, have predicted that there's a Teklo Core. I'm pretty sure a Teklo Core comes down this turn. And I probably could have guessed that. A Boom Grenade off the top, of course. And then I think it's just a Teklo Core. And then we just banish Feanorman, our only banished playable card. Arsenal Smashing Good Time. Spark of Genius. Okay. And then dive through data, just sending 4 more damage. I would rather play my Smashing Good Time than block this with Dyadic Carapace. I don't really care too much about 4 damage. You know, the Opt is a pain. If I were going to block something, I'd want to block Dive Through Data. Something where there's no other on-hit like Boom Grenades. I'd probably block a Dive Through Data, but we let it go. Symbiosis Shot. Man, like I said, this deck just does so much. It does so much damage. I thought we were out of the woods, and suddenly he has a, he plays the Boom Grenade off the top, so he gets the extra action point, so he gets to play the Spark of Genius and get another action, like still have an action point, so he can draw another card and attack with that, and then Symbiosis Shot. Just good stuff. We do that exactly. Arsenal, Banished Funeral Moon, Arsenal, Smashing Performance. And then this hand is great. Real quick. So we have Deathly Wail, that's definitely our banish. We're going to have 2, maybe 3 Rune Chants. We have a Deathly Delight sitting in banish. Probably are just playing Shadow Puppetry. Yeah, probably just playing Shadow Puppetry, playing Funeral Moon, playing Deathly Wail into Deathly Delight. You know, with the good card, Smashing Good Time out of Arsenal. And then, you know, we can Arsenal a Deadwood Dirge, block with the Machinations of Dominion. There are options here. This is a really good hand. And I can just go ahead and spoil this hand, because we do not do any of those things. I make a huge misplay. I had damage coming at my face, and I wanted to not take that damage. So, my opponent swings with Data Link, puts a card on the bottom of his deck because he hits, and then he plays a Boom Grenade off the top that he finds. And I did not want to get hit with this Boom Grenade. Just straight up. So we'll see what we're left with after this turn of blocks. It's not great. This is my great misplay for this game. You know, everybody's got to make a big misplay in the game. Zipper hit here for 5, and I think, you know, that's pretty good value to get with Face Purgatory. 5 block and some hand disruption. So I'm thinking, you know, Shadow Puppetry is the best card in my hand. Deadwood Dirge is a great card. I can draw something off of the Face Purgatory to banish, and even if it's not a Rune Gate, I can hit a banish with Shadow Puppetry and have a second attack to send this turn, or something. So my play is just, at this point, Shadow Puppetry, Deathly Delight. I could play Funeral Moon and Deadwood Dirge it up to 3 if I hit off Shadow Puppetry. It's just bad. I really should have just probably taken the damage and sent my big fat hand of damage and effects. You know, threatening to take an item over 2 separate attacks, because Smashing Good Time has the Plunder Run text. Yeah, just unfortunate misplay. Now we're kind of left with a hand of mid cards. I think I end up banishing Malefic and do that play with the Shadow Puppetry and the Delight. An unfortunate misplay. Yep, we're seeing the Shadow Puppetry ran out. Do I want to pay? I think I'm just planning on swinging Flail. Either I'm planning on swinging Flail, or it just wouldn't quite matter. I think I probably should have paid, but in case I did swing Flail, then I'd be down 1 on life. You know, because I'm going to get 1 life back from Delight anyways. I think it was just better to, you know, not have blocked with Face Purgatory on this turn. We were not dead. We didn't need to block with Face Purgatory. Opponent doing some real thinking. Ending up blocking for 5, killing their Boom Grenade. So we do get our hit. We get to take their Teklo Core, which is great. That's why we run Smashing Good Time. You know, if anything, we want that. We want the Cerebellum processor thing, Cerebellum Core, the card drawer, a red Boom Grenade wouldn't be bad. A Pounder, Teklo Pounder with 2 counters on it. That's 4 value. And we're looking to get like 4 value. Yeah, we do just swing flail. We find a succumb on top, so we can't play that, and we just swing flail here. It's unfortunate, and we arsenal a dirge, which is a good card. So this next hand has 2 of a very good card. We have 2 succumbs, which are the very good card. We've got a beseech, we've got a wraith, we've got enough for enchants. We are foot on the gas. You know, we're either planning on just blocking with one of these succumbs or playing the dirge for 2 value and arsenaling the succumb. I think I'm more leaning towards arsenaling it just because this card is very good and I want to play with it more. Whether that's smart, I do not know. I mean, I'm sure it's not. I should be making my decisions, you know, more flexibly, but I want to play with the card more. Almost blocked the T-Bone with Spellbound Creepers, but we remember last second that we could block with Vexing Quillhand. I swear, dumb blocks are not the reason I find this matchup to be a pain. This matchup is actually a pain. I think it's kind of a pain because like all of your chess pieces could be fine into it, so you never know which one's actually like best, and if you take one and you lose the game, it's like, dang, could I have done better if I brought Carrion Husk? But I think Dyadic is a good choice. Opponent is not presenting any meaningful on-hits, so we are, you know, pretty happy to just say no blocks. Go next. We've got a good hand. We can convert all of these cards aggressively. Opponent banishing a boom grenade. That I think was... No, never mind. It was 2 cards under the overload script. The 3rd high octane, Mr. President, has hit the banished zone. Yeah, we take those. We definitely take those. And once again, we are taking this. No blocks here. There's no on-hit on this. He's already activated dash, so I am not worried about it. And then the heist comes down. And you know what? You got me, opponent. I will block. I will block the heist because you have boom grenades in your banished zone, and I don't really want to give you that value. I'm not really doing anything with this second succumb anyways. The issue with blocking with succumb is it's such a good card, it immediately tells your opponent that you have a second one. So, whoops. That's the real reason I didn't want to block with it. But it's fine. We've got the Shadow non-attack action, so we can definitely play it to at least get an action point from it. And if that's all we get from it, then our opponent has given us enough cards for me to be happy. Beseech, paying the life. I think it's a little bit sus for Vynnset to pay the life on something like Beseech Whale or Beseech Wraith. You know, there's no value to be had. So I think you still do. Issue is it just telegraphs the succumb, like, really hard. But I think it's fine. Sending Wraith for 9. Our opponent still has 3 armor block left. And they just say no blocks. So we are succumbing so fast. Let me see that hand, boy. No reactions, of course. This hand is mid. We could take a blue, we could take, you know, a blue, but that wouldn't do anything. All of his blues are bad. We are definitely taking Zipper Hit here and leaving him with a trash turn. Kind of locked in there. Zipper Hit is very clearly the right pick. Maybe not very clearly, you know, I think it is clear. It's the only red card. Like, it's the only card that actually does things in his hand. Yeah, it's pretty clear. And then we get to swing Flail with the action point, which is pretty cool. You get to swing Flail a lot when you play Succumb to Temptation. You know, you play it on an attack that already has Go again, like a Machinations attack, and, you know, you got an extra action point, may as well swing Flail. Get a chance to get another Enchant going into next turn. It's pretty good. A Boom Grenade off the top, so it's a red. And then opponent is gonna chuck that Outpace at us, surely. Arsenal the blue Boom Grenade that we know they have. And real quick, we'll check this hand out, because we do have some options here. I would like to get both the Widespread Annihilation and the Bounding Demagon plate out of Banish, especially because I have Widespread Annihilation's ability. However, that would take a lot of resources to do because Revel isn't on until I play another attack. So I think what my play would be is just Shadow Puppetry, Bounding Demagon from hand, Revel, Annihilation from Banish, or Shadow Puppetry, pay the life, break my Quill Hand and use my Dirge from Arsenal to play Annihilation, and then break the chain, put the Bounding Demagon in Banish, and chuck the Bounding Demagon, and then I can hold on to the Revel. Either of those, I think, would be the right play. I do some weirdness. It's not terrible. Oh yeah, also, if I do the Widespread Annihilation from Banish using Quill Hand and Dirge, I get to not get hit for 6 damage, which I hear is pretty good. Symbiosis shot so good. Yep, we're gonna banish the Annihilation, and we're gonna play Shadow Puppetry. But in a weird way, we're not paying the life for Shadow Puppetry. And I guess I know I had the idea to play Bounding Demagon from Arsenal, like by banishing with Annihilation in my head. I think I just overlooked and thought that paying like a Swinging Flail would get me the self-damage in order to do that. But at that point, I've out of action points. I know I am like mid-resolving Rune Chance when I realized that I messed up, but I think I was just happy to go forward with it, because I'm still going to get my Bounding Demagon and Banish. You know, things could turn out alright. Opponent giving us a Pulse Wave Harpoon. We love to see that. Also another one in Banish. I haven't even noticed that. We loved seeing opponent's good cards be gone. Crowning Arsenal. But we're still taking a few cards. And we are choosing to banish Deathly Delight. Hovering over the no, but I think it is just better to banish aggressively nowadays. You have a lot of options. Swinging Flail. Opponent's at 3 with no armor. If I had paid the life on Shadow Puppetry, I could threaten lethal here. An opponent would have to give me a card. Probably would be better, considering they have a Boom Grenade on the board. But then I wouldn't get a Rune Chant from hitting with Flail to definitely play Deathly Delight next turn. If we had not blocked with Face Purgatory, we'd still have it, but be down about 9 HP. 8 HP, so he wouldn't be dead here, and we would have so much more damage on the board against him. Yeah, probably just better to hold on to Face Purgatory there. I mean, almost definitely. I lost my play that turn. 0 to 60 with Boom Grenade on the board, blocking with Deathly Wail and Dyadic Carapace. My reasoning for that is I just don't really want a 3 cost in my Banish Zone when I don't have any tools available to me to get it out of my Banish Zone. That could kill me. So I'm just blocking with it, getting it out of my hand, planning on banishing a 2 cost or a 2 block to play like Deathly Delight into Bounding Demagon with Mauve, but opponent presenting Heist on the second chain link, so I'm just going to give all my cards. I can banish Mauvrin Skies, play Deathly Delight, opponent has to give me 3 cards, because Deathly Delight is threatening 2 Rune Chants, and then they block 3, they still take 2, so they still die, so they have to give me 2 cards on the Delight. So we get to strip them down to 1 card, we still have a card in Banish. Just no Arsenal, none of our safety valves, still clear. Can't crack Vexing Cool Hand to get an emergency play. We're kind of in the home stretch here, but it's not looking like totally sealed up. Just playing out a Boom Grenade, making it our problem next turn. And then we are banishing Destruction. Getting a 3-cost in, I just felt, I guess at the time, I felt like was better than losing these cards. I'm not too sure. I think I should have probably banished the Shadow Puppetry. That seems iffy to me. That thing could be an anchor sitting in my banished zone. That would be pretty sad. Our opponent blocking 3 here. And taking the mob on hit. And this confuses me. This confuses me. Because that lets me swing with Widespread Destruction. And then we see our opponent is going to pitch a T-Bone. So our opponent definitely could have blocked with that T-Bone to cover up the other one. And then not take the mob on hit. And then I just swing Flail. And then they give me... either they take the damage because they have an item in their hand, or they give me that last card and make me deal with finding a playline next turn when I have no rune chance and 2 blood debt and I'm down to 4. That's pretty brutal. Maybe his thought was that he can take 1 and then pitch this blue T-Bone for 3, and 3 is greater than 1, so it puts more value on the card when I do swing Flail, but me hitting with Mauvrin Skies just lets me swing Widespread Destruction. You know what? I had my misplay with Face Purgatory. We'll let opponent have his misplay with blocking lethal. Just swinging in for 6 here. And that is going to do it. So sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. Not everyone can play perfectly or all-knowing about all things. I think we probably could have made it out of that game. We would have had a rune chant going into next turn because our opponent did have an item, so probably would have found our way out. But yeah, that's just how the deck's working right now. The new cards are very good. They make a lot of, bad or annoying matchups pretty good and tolerable. So, hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Have a good one. See ya.